Screen and making sure that we are live. Okay. Hey everybody, good afternoon. It's Latonia here and I'm excited to be with you today. Today's topic is what it really means to make time for journaling. So if this is the first time that you are here with me, my name is Latonia and I am the trailblazing owner of Let's Write Life. And Let's Write Life is a journaling company that I started to partner with mental health professionals and self-development organizations to bring journaling into their programs in a fun and easy way. And I also go live here on Facebook every Tuesday, at least for right now, as I'm making this particular video, to connect with those of you who are on a journey through journaling and want to see life change happen in your life. And so I get on here to share journaling tips, to have conversations with you guys about what's going on in your life, and so that I could be a light of inspiration to you as you're moving forward. So if you are here and you're watching me live, that means it's Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Definitely say hello in the comments, and if you're watching on the replay, definitely leave a comment saying hello and letting me know that you stopped by, because I definitely love hearing from you guys. I love having these journaling conversations with you guys, because you guys know how it is. I be sharing all kinds of things that go on in my life and how I'm using journaling to empower me along the way. I have been doing these Tuesday broadcasts for about a year now. I can't even believe it. I'm going to actually go back and just confirm when my actual 1-year anniversary will be for actually doing Tuesday broadcast here on Facebook. And so if you're watching me from Instagram, Facebook, or even on my website, thank you for watching and supporting all of the videos that I've done this far. Thank you for getting to know me. Thank you for welcoming me into your life through these videos. So thank you guys so much. So let me just go and see who's up on Facebook watching me live right now. Good afternoon, my friends. So when you read this topic, what did you think? Let me hear what you had to say. All right. So let me go on here. Hey friends, I have Barbara Gary, I have Barbara Houston, I have Anita. Hey lovely ladies, good afternoon. Special shout out to Barbara Houston, my bestie who keeps my hair looking nice and helping me so much, guys, behind the scenes right now to bring you broadcast each week throughout the summer. So I'm really excited about the topics that are coming up. So let me get right on into the topic today, because I don't want to keep you long. And guys, I really want to try to stick to 30 minutes. Did you know that's what my goal has been from the very start of this thing? And I've been going for like hours. So I am going to be working on keeping these things within 30 minutes for you. So just recently, or you know what, before I even begin, I have to start by announcing what you guys should already know is the upcoming event, which is the Intro to Journaling webinar. So I hope that you are on the list to attend. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be sending out the link to the webinar, which is taking place this coming Saturday, June 30th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is a free 1-hour event. So think about my topic for today as we begin this conversation. What it really means to make time for journaling. So as I go through this topic, I hope you're just thinking to yourself or letting go of all the excuses why I won't be seeing you there, so that way I can see you there. Thank you guys for the hearts and the thumbs up. So be sure to check out the link that's with this video. Go check out my Instagram profile link as well to get access to this upcoming event. Okay, guys. So here we go. I've been busy myself these days, right? But guess what? You guys know, even in the busyness of my life, I am still journaling. Why? Because here is what happens when you journal. Let me see. I want to make sure I stick to the topic the way I worded it. What really happens when you make time for journaling? How many times do you guys find yourself, hey Shayna, thank you for joining in. Look at this. I feel like I got the A team with me online right now. All right, so if you are joining in, be sure to say hello to me in the comments, because otherwise I don't know if you are here watching. All right, so I have been busy myself, right? But you guys know when I am feeling happy, when I am feeling discouraged, when I am feeling like doubt is setting in, when the discouragement, when the depression, when anything is going on in my life, I am always checking in with myself. I am always making sure I'm okay first, okay? I don't have to rely on everybody else to make sure I'm okay, because I've gotten to a place in my journaling to make sure that I am always checking in with myself before I go off the deep end. You know, people go off the deep end. I think I just read on Instagram when I was putting my post up for this topic, somebody was literally saying how she has been on a journey. Yes, it was. She had been on a journey, and she had all these pictures of just like a, you know, a post, but within the post there was like a 9-square image of different shots of her journey, of this journey she's been on. And she's listed out the things that she has gone through, and how on this journey through journaling and through coming into herself and just stepping out of her comfort zone, she has really helped herself from going off the deep end. She has really helped herself from being stagnant in life, being confused, or feeling like there's no time for anything. And as I'm reading the post, I'm like, yes, girl, this is exactly how I'm feeling. This is exactly what happens when you journal. And so many times people may think journaling is just for people who like to write, or maybe it's just a craft or a hobby. But for many of us, many people who journal and find success in life, many of us are using journaling for so much more than that. And so what really happens when you make time for journaling is that you are literally relieving yourself of stress. You are reducing anxiety. You are creating clarity in your life to move forward at times that you may feel stuck. Look, I got a little post-it note today. You are making time for things you want to do versus allowing many things take up time, stopping you from doing what it is you want to do. By journaling, you're making time for yourself. Here's why. I'll just get right into it, because this is our conversation for today. When you journal, you're able to check in with yourself and set boundaries, or realize what boundaries you need to set for yourself in order to push things out of your life that no longer serve you. And when you don't make time for yourself, which is essentially what journaling is, this is exactly why I have the lights dim today. Because when you make time for journaling, you're basically saying to yourself, I'm putting a stop on everything else and making time for me. Making time from the things that I desire in life and the things that I want in life, despite what's going on outside of here, outside of this space, outside of this journal space. Because yes, life will go on without you. So why not just give yourself a few minutes each day to just check in? People ask you all day long, how are you? How are you? I hope you're doing good. How you doing, girl? All that stuff. But when do you actually take the time to ask that of yourself? Meanwhile, you're busy doing this, you're busy doing that, you're wondering why XYZ is not happening and why such and such is getting on with her life and you're not getting on with yours, and XYZ. This particular topic came up because I was recently at a conference, and I was sitting in the audience listening to all these awesome panelists speak and sharing their story about how they've achieved success in their life. And as I'm sitting there, I'm like, yes, because many of these people who are speaking are my peers. They're my friends. And what does that say about me? I've got a good circle of friends around me who are doing things. And so, yes, I'm going to be doing things too because I'm in their circle of influence, which leads me back to the topic from last week, creating your circle of support. So make sure if you don't have a circle of support that you create one, and you can learn one from watching my previous video on that topic. But as I was sitting in this conference and they opened it up for question and answers, a lot of the people were like, well, how do you know what goals you can take to get you to, how did you know what steps you needed to take to get to where you are? And, you know, how did you manage your family and life, and how can you be a mom or a father and do this business thing, or what helped you to get out of your comfort zone to move forward? And ultimately, these people were making plans. They were clarifying what it is they wanted to do in life and making plans on how to get there. And as I'm sitting there, I was thinking, yes, this is, and I'm a part of their life, so I know what it is that they're doing. And we're all pretty much doing the same thing. We're staying focused. And many times, a lot of people are asking, how do you stay focused? How do you stay motivated with journaling? And a lot of what it is focusing on the things in your life that you want to do. And that's what journaling is for me. So journaling can be whatever it is that you define it to be, but it doesn't have to be limited to one thing. Some days for me, it is about reflecting on life, acknowledging my journey, because what comes out of that is self-realization of who I am and where I've been and what I've overcome, so I don't always have to feel like my life doesn't matter, or that I'm not doing anything, or that I'm not enough. You know, when I look back and I see my journey and I see how active I've been, and I've seen the ways that I haven't given up when things feel very overwhelming and tough, I'm able to see that, yes, I did it before, I can do these things again, and I could do even more if I don't lose hope and if I keep going. So that's what happens when you journal from a reflective standpoint. When you journal from a proactive standpoint, what you're doing is saying, what do I want to do right now to change tomorrow? What's happening in my life right now that's preventing me from doing better tomorrow? And so that is what essentially journaling does. And the more that you write that way and use journaling in that way, the more opportunities you can get yourself involved with that align with your goals. And you can start weeding out the things in your life that no longer align with those goals. But you can't get to that point until you make the time to journal. Does that make sense? Hey Dima, hey ladies. Oh shoot, I got a nice crew of ladies on with me today. But does that make sense, guys? The other thing that comes out of all of this, when you journal, the more you begin to open your door to checking in with yourself, reflecting on life, and then being proactive in your journaling, the more you get to know who you are. The more you know about yourself becomes power. Knowledge is power is not just a nice thing to say. That actually means something. Not only in your career, but in your life. The more you know about yourself, the more power you have to define, to clarify, to confirm with your soul what your purpose is, because you've taken the time out of your life to figure it out. And that comes over time. Journaling is truly a journey. It's not, you will experience benefits of journaling instantly if you're relieving stress. But the greater benefits of journaling comes over time. Think about it. Success is not achieved in a day. It is not achieved in a moment. Success is achieved by small steps each day. So when I started journaling, I had no idea where that journaling would lead me to. I had no idea that my journals would essentially lead to me writing my first book, which I'm not even, that's weird to say, because I still haven't really come to terms with the fact that I've written one. I don't even present it that way. I present it as a journal still. And as a matter of fact, the one that I'm referring to is this one, The Best of Me. I would have not been able to write this the way I have had it not been for me writing in my journals for years. Because when I wrote this, it required me to look back at where I had been in order to bring this particular journal into my future for all of you guys who come alongside of me and support me. So thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Anita. Thank you, Dima. Thank you, Shayna. Thank you, all of you. Thank you, Herkins. I don't see you here, but you know, Herkins be here supporting me. So thank you, lovely ladies. Thank you for those who are watching, who are new to watching me. Thank you, everybody. You guys know I thank all of you for your support. So I'm looking at the comments. I see a lot going on here. Dima saying hi. Barbara saying hi to Dima. And look at that. And people laughing. Look at Barbara welcoming people to the feed too. Okay, now I might have to put her on the payroll. Okay, I'm getting off track. And then Carol, welcome Carol. Thank you for joining. It's great journaling. I have been doing it for, nope, no calls coming in right now. Hope that didn't mess me up. But it's great journaling. I have been doing it for years. Write mini poems, nothing published yet. Thanks for the reminder. Yes, absolutely. Oh my gosh, you never know. You never know where your journaling will lead you to. And I didn't know that it would lead me to this. But to be honest, guys, I'm just going to put on my do not disturb so I don't have any more calls coming in during our time together. But yeah, you never know. You never know. And so what happens when you make time for journaling is that you begin to learn things about yourself that you didn't know was there. You begin to realize there's aspects of your life that maybe it is time for you to let go. And then your journaling becomes a place of empowerment that allows you to find hope in areas that maybe you didn't have hope before. It allows you to be the author of your life, so you're feeding your soul with the things that you need that don't currently exist around you. And when you make time to journal, you can turn off the lights on life, put on some nice music, which I don't have on for you guys today. I wanted to, but I didn't get a chance to turn it on. So maybe with this video you're watching, you could put on some of your own music in the background, because basically what you're saying is, I care more about myself, and I'm going to choose to make myself a priority so that when I journal, I can relieve all of these things that are holding me back and make room for new things in my life that I want to see happen without just letting life run rampantly around you. It allows you to just get your control back and actually be a part of the story of your life. And if you're not holding the pen and you're just letting everybody else hold the pen, they're going to write what they want about you. They're going to write what make up your time, take up your time in ways that maybe you don't want your time to be used. And so out of the Best of Me journal, I got a second edition, and it's only better than the first one. As you can see, it's a hardcover. I have new pieces of this journal that aren't in the first one, and I just continue to grow. And this all comes through the time I spend journaling, because when you journal, there's no other person in that story but yours, and what you're doing is writing it. And I wanted to mention this all today because I was sitting at that conference, and after the speakers were done, I went out into the hallway to visit some of the vendors. And one of the vendors that I stopped by, I remember being in contact with and saying, I do journaling workshops. So if any of your young ladies, it's for an after school program. And I said, if any of your young ladies, need some empowerment, need some self-esteem development, just, contact me, reach out to me. And I introduced myself, and the woman was like, oh my gosh, Latonya, yes, I know you. I get your emails. I love what you do, and I don't have time to journal. And, I wish I could get to journal one of these days. And she's like, I don't know how you do it. You do so great. And you guys know what I was thinking. I was like, well, you could be doing these things if you made time to journal. And I was just like, you know what, and she's like, I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'm so busy right now, blah, blah, blah. And all I could think, and what I was basically telling her was, you know what, when it comes to your goals, do you make time to write those things down? And she was like, I try to make time. And I was like, girl, listen, you need to start to think about journaling differently. If you're not moving through life the way that you desire to, you just have to put a stop on everything and just sit down, write it all out, and start to prioritize and organize your life around those things so you can move forward with freedom, which you can move forward with clarity. So does that make sense to you guys? That's basically what I wanted to say today regarding this particular topic, is that journaling doesn't have to just be this side tangent thing that just happens when you miraculously have time, because that's just not how it's going to work. And even if you did have a moment, journaling doesn't have to just be this experience where you're just letting your thoughts out. It could be so much more than that. It could be all things that you need it to be. It may start with you just expressing your thoughts, but it can continue by you asking yourself, what do you want to do with those thoughts? Turn the page and start to plan it out. That's how you stay motivated with journaling, because you say to yourself, I like these thoughts or I don't like these thoughts. What am I going to do with them? And that's how journaling leads to life change. Okay, guys, so Dima said, I started again, and now there are beautiful songs coming out of it. Okay, what did I miss here? When did you say you was talking about songs? Go, girl, yay. I'm excited for you. And then Anita, it has definitely redefined my life, yes. And then Barbara is saying, journaling has led me to healing and forgiveness, both externally and internally. Yes, I'm so glad. And then Barbara's saying, yes, Dima. And then, hey, Andrea. Hey. Well, hey, Andrea. Am I missing an Andrea here? Well, welcome. Thank you for joining me. If you're not in the comments, I can't see you. And I don't see Joanne, but I know Joanne pops in and watches the replay. And then who else? Somebody else, Nadine, pops in and watches the replays later. So thank you, lovely ladies. Thank you for the hearts and the thumbs up. So does that make sense to you guys? So when you think about journaling, these are the type of things that happen when you make time for it. It's not just about expressing your thoughts. It's about when you journal, you relieve stress, you relieve anxiety. You have the ability to dream big. And I have just a few more minutes. And so you guys always see me. I'm always putting these up in my Instagram stories, my visual journal, which I use, at least for this season of my life, I'm using it almost every day. And so this particular week, Herkins and I decided we were going to start Sunday night, before the week started, just visualizing where we're going. Let me see. I literally wrote, where am I going with all of this? Sometimes you got to check in and just be like, Latonya, what are you doing? Why are you doing all this stuff? Where are you going with all this? Because when I started my journey, I had a different end goal in mind. So right now I'm using the Create Visual Journal, or what I have been using lately is the visual journal to help me make sure that I'm still moving in the direction to where I want to be when I reach success, the way I define success to be. And so My husband and I, we took the time to just make sure we just outlined it. We put all of our ideas on paper, and then we began to just make a line from one thing to the next. Like, this is going to lead to this is going to lead to that, so we can actually visualize it all, and then use just our regular journal, just my regular journal, to make sure that every day I'm holding myself accountable to those steps. That makes sense? Hey, Nicole, thanks for joining in. But does that make sense, guys? Nicole just got the Create Visual Journal, so I can't wait to see the ways you're using it, lady. And so that's what I've been using. But today, as I'm thinking about, what it really means to make time for journaling, I had said, it allows you to plan your life in such a way that you can have time for the things that you want to do. It allows you time to dream big, because maybe you don't get to think about, where are you going with this life you're living? Like, where do you want to end up? Journaling allows you to do that. It allows you the time to do that. It allows you the time to step back and reflect, like I mentioned before. It allows you to fight discouragement and anxiety. It allows you to sort out ideas. It allows you to plan your life, set goals. There's so much that it allows you to do. But ultimately, what you're doing is checking in with yourself so that you can get to know who you are. At the end of all of these things, ultimately, you are getting to know who you are, so you don't have to find yourself saying, what am I going to do with my life? And if you do have that question, journaling is a great place to start by answering it. Okay? And so on my journal, what I put today, because I am in the season of dreaming big, and this year I want to make it real that I get to travel to California. And on this sheet, whether I see it happening or not, I made it a point to put it there. Because had I not, so I actually, once I put one thing, I went all the way. I put all the destinations I see myself traveling to. No holding back. Yep. So I said, I'm going to bring my story to California. I'm going to bring it to Africa. I'm going to bring it to Haiti. I'm going to bring it to New York. I'm going to bring it to Washington. I'm going to bring it to Canada. I'm going to bring it to the islands. I'm going to bring it to London. I'm actually going to bring it to Italy too. That's just the start. But the fact that I'm writing it down means I'm planning it into my story. That means I'm going to make intentions to see that this happens. And when I look at this page, I'm going to remember, did I connect with anybody in California? Did I tell anybody that I want to do some work out there? Because if you're not writing about it, and if you're not speaking about it, and if you don't have a circle of support to share your goals with, you're not going to do these things. That's why journaling is so important. This is what happens when you journal. This is what it really means when you make time to journal. And so when I hear people say, I don't have time to journal, I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, they don't even realize what they're missing. They're not even realizing that when they aren't making time to journal, they're missing out on a big piece of their life that is all about making time for themselves in ways for them to know who they are and making sure their life really does align with their goals and their dreams. Okay, guys, so yeah, that's it. That's it, my friends. I did it. 30 minutes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, guys, I'm having too much fun. I've been up since 6 a.m., and I actually am liking it a lot. So Barbara's saying, so hey, Nicole. Nicole's saying, hey, love it. And then Barbara's saying, consistent self-checkups are required for progress and personal success. And it's so true, because think about it. You get an annual checkup for your physical body, right? Your physical body. You guys are laughing at me. I see all the hearts. But you guys, we get a physical exam every year to make sure our body is functioning. Journaling is the same thing. It gives us an opportunity to check in and make sure our mind is functioning as well. We can't pour from an empty cup. It makes no sense at all to work from a point of weakness and tiredness. You are way more productive, way more useful to others when you're able to do it from a point of strength. And journaling helps you to just check in with yourself at these moments so you're doing those things with success. So Barbara's saying, being intentional with our dreams and goals. Yes, honey. And then Nicole's just laughing at me. And so Demon's saying, random, Barbara, I need to come by your house, need to have a journaling session. You guys are having your own little conversation up in here. And so Nicole's saying, so true, Barbara. Absolutely, Dima. And then Anita, mental health is very important. Yes, you can see the conversations happening nationally all around us regarding mental health. And you see and hear about the stories in the news. And it's important for us to be keeping those conversations mindful for ourselves and within our own communities to make sure we all are well. Okay, so actually, while I have Nicole and, Nicole of Journal Junkie here, a fellow friend that I met via Instagram and had the awesome pleasure to meet here in Boston last week, or was it? Yeah, last week already. My goodness, time is flying. She came all the way from North Carolina and decided to come on up to the New England states, so I was so absolutely happy that I was able to meet Nicole this past week because she let me know she was in Boston and we got to link up and connect and talk. So I love being able to meet Instagram friends in person. So Nicole actually has an event that is coming, or maybe it just started, right? Go ahead and just plug your event link if it's still open for people. And then you guys know where you can find me. I have my event tomorrow. Go be sure to register. The event will start, not tomorrow. Gosh, the week ain't even got through yet. Oh, Lord, I'm all messed up. But the event is Saturday, guys. So please be sure to go check it out. I hope to see you there live with me. It'll be my very first webinar. So, Lord, I'm praying that I do well for you guys. And then the journals that I featured very briefly today, so you guys can maybe take this journey for yourself. I used the Create Visual Journal today, and then I also just briefly showed the Choose Happiness Visual Journal. I also mentioned the Best of Me, which is all out of stock. This thing is sold out, and so I don't have this one in stock currently. But yeah, those are the journals. You guys know where to find them in the journal shop. So before we go, I wanted to be sure I left you with a to-do, a next step for your journaling, give you a journaling prompt. And it's really simple today. And I hate to put limits and time frames on journaling because I believe that you journal until you're done, period. It could be 2 minutes, 5 minutes. You journal until you're done. But for those of you who are struggling with making time for journaling, I'm going to ask you to do something for me, but not for me. It's really for yourself. Give yourself 10 minutes to just literally, if you have to sit in your car for 10 minutes, if you have to sit in the bathroom for 10 minutes, give yourself 10 minutes to ask yourself, how are you doing today? And be real, be honest. Give yourself 10 minutes to say, how are you doing today? And this could be one question you can ask yourself every day for the rest of your life. And that can be what journaling is for you if you want it to be. But whatever you answer to that question, make it your next step through journaling to find a solution to move forward with it, or find a solution to do more of it because you love it and enjoy it so much. Okay, guys? That's all I got for you today. And so Nicole is saying, yes, girl, that was so awesome. You're such a wonderful woman. Thank you, Nicole. You know I feel the same way about you, girl. I can't wait for this stuff. 6 figures, my friend. Accountability. Look it. This is another one of my accountability partners for 2018, 2019. And so Anita's saying, so excited about the webinar. Yes, I know, Anita, you're going to be in the room. And then, yes, so this is the link, Let's Write for a Change, that Anita is sharing so you can learn more about her. And then you will do great. Thank you so much, Nicole. Yes, Dima, question. Go ahead, girl. Go ahead and ask. I will wait for you, and then I'm going to sign off because today is the last day of school for my kiddos. And so this will be the last day before the summer that I'll be leaving the broadcast to go grab them. So Dima is asking, what about those who do not feel safe while journaling? Okay, yes, this is a good one. Now, and there are many times in my workshops that this is a fear that sometimes many of you may face when it comes to journaling. And it's a legit feeling to have, especially if maybe you've lost your journal before, or maybe you're not in an environment where you feel like you can express what it is you need to say. But here's the thing. I believe that when you put something on paper, not everything is meant for you to keep. So maybe what you do, or this is what I like to suggest for people to do, the things that you feel like you need to express, let those things go. I don't think it's worth going back and reading things that make you hold on to pain. The goal with journaling is that you're releasing it. You're putting it outside of yourself so you can learn to let those things go. And maybe the way that it works is that you write it down. This is what I usually suggest in my workshops. And please share this video with others that need to hear it. I always forget to promote myself. You guys see me promoting the events and my topics, but I never share my stuff. If I do, it's usually Herkins sharing my videos and things for me. But if there's someone that needs to hear what it is that I'm saying, please share this video with them. Hey Tiara, how we doing, friends? And so yes, so what I typically would suggest is write those things down that you need to express, because either way, for you yourself, you need to let those things go. Maybe they're causing you stress. And literally write as much as you need to write. Journals are whatever you need them to be. You can rip pages out of your journal, parts of your story that hurt you, that are ugly parts of your story, or things that you're ashamed that anybody would find. You can burn those pages and let it be a healing experience for you. Make an event of it. Okay, maybe it's time that you let things out that you never let out before, and you say to yourself when you write, I'm letting this go because I have to move forward and I have to heal. So maybe you literally buy a journal. Don't buy none of my journals. Buy something that you're willing to tear up and burn and all that, because you don't want to be spending good money on stuff you're going to burn. So literally, I actually have one right here. Well, now that I said right here, it's not right here. Oh, there it is. A little journal like this. And actually, this is something I picked up from a conference, so I didn't even pay for this. But in here, the pages are literally, I feel like they were meant for tearing out and ripping up and doing all that stuff. And what I do is anything that I feel like I gotta let this go. I'm really past that stage of my journey though, where I'm not at a place where I'm creating burn journals. That's what I call stuff like this, burn journals. Journals where I have to let it out, and I have to have something in tangible form that I could go like this and burn it, or I don't know, shred it. I usually try to burn it. I don't know why. I like burning things. I don't know. That doesn't even sound good. But like what I like to do is I will go to a fire pit or do some type of event where I need to vent, literally vent it out and then burn it out, or just release it, tear it up, shred it up, or create something new from those shreds. So I know there's a workshop. I know you guys are laughing at me, right? There's a workshop where some people will take journal pages that they're letting go of, right? They tear it all up, and then what they do is they form something new with that part of their story. So for example, I've seen some people take scraps and things that they've teared up that they wanted to let go, things that don't make them feel great. And then what they've done is they've drawn a heart on their paper and then made those pieces become the heart that signifies something different for them. So I don't know if all that what I just shared helps you, Dima answers your question. But when it comes to journaling, this is why it's good to stay connected and always be plugged in to a source of empowerment that will help you move forward. To any of you guys who are watching, because you can have the opportunity to ask questions. And I always think about journaling the same way I think about healthcare, because essentially journaling is a tool to provide care to your mental health. It's self-care. And so when you get a cold, you take cold medicine. But when you break your leg, you do not take cold medicine, right? And so it's the same thing with journaling. Whatever your need is, there is a solution through journaling to aid that need. Not everything is going to work for everybody's situation, and not every strategy is going to work the same for every person, because people are different, and the journaling techniques work different for different needs. This is why I feel like I've probably done 80 different topics on journaling right now. But it was because people are different and the solutions to their needs are different. And journaling is literally everything you need it to be, which makes it hard sometimes for people to get into journaling because it's so unlimited what you could do with it. But you get to define what you want journaling to be for you. And so let's hear what you guys are talking about. I really got to get off. So the reason why I'm long today is because of you guys. I finished in 30 minutes. So let's see. Burn journals, yes. And so, okay, Tiara's here. We got the baby going on in the comments. Yes, get them down and then release them. Burn journals. And so Dima's saying that makes sense. And of course, during events and things like that, we can obviously, I'm open to talking more about it. And then Nicole is saying, I haven't been able to rip and destroy my pages. I keep all of my books and just own my story. I've learned to release my inhibition surrounding journaling fear. I feel that once I own it and then release it, no one else can use it against me. Absolutely. I absolutely agree with that. And actually, that is what the healing through journaling does when you're writing to heal. And that's actually why I just say I don't really do this anymore and past that stage of life, because everything I'm writing about, and I shared it last week in my last video, I shared it last week that I actually wouldn't mind for someone to read my journals, because they would actually realize that my journey hasn't always looked like this. It took a lot of things I had to go through to get to this stage in my life. And if people were to go back and read my journals, they'd see like, dang, she's come far. And this is what happened to her. She had an aunt named Latonia who committed suicide, and she went through a stage of her life where she was ashamed to call her family members because she was afraid people would feel pain when they heard her say her name, because her name's the same as the woman in our family that committed suicide. I mean, there are stories, guys, that you don't even know about me. There are stories that people don't even know about you. But am I ashamed of those stories? No. So if I lose a journal, I'm going to be sad because, I'll be missing what I wrote, but I'm not going to be ashamed of what I wrote. And so that's what you work toward through journaling. And so thank you, Nicole, for sharing. And then Barbara, thank you, Barbara. I think so many times we feel the need to serve our journaling practice, but our practice is meant to serve us. Absolutely. And so Nicole is saying thank you to Anita, and Barbara is saying absolutely, Nicole. And so Nicole is saying right, exactly. So yeah, so thank you guys so much for joining in on this conversation with me. I really, really enjoyed having you guys all here with me today. I cannot wait for the webinar on Saturday where I actually get to see all of your beautiful faces. Yeah. Because that's what it's about. Once we can own our story, then the enemy outside ain't got nothing on us. No one can say nothing about us or do nothing to us because we already know what it's about. We're not ashamed. And so, yeah, Dima, through the pain, right? Through the pain. And so MJ want to say hi. Hi, MJ. Oh, look at that. Families. Serving families over here. Okay, guys, I'm going to sign off, but thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to share the video, and for those of you who are watching the replay, I am hoping that this topic really was beneficial and of value to you. Okay, guys, have an awesome Tuesday, and I'll see you next week. Next week's topic is what to do when my doctor told me I should journal. And so this is another topic that came up from a question that I had relating to one of my events that just recently came up. And I don't want people to wait for their doctor to say it or wait for an event before you can learn what you can do to start journaling. Okay, friends, have a good one. Bye.